Instructions for accessing subtitles in a language other than English are included on our board meetings webpage as well as in the description below. Instrucciones para acceder a los subtítulos en un idioma que no sea el inglés se incluyen en nuestra página web de reuniones de la Junta, así como en la descripción a continuación.
All right, good evening and welcome to the Ross Valley School District Board of Trustees regular meeting. Today is July 17th, 2024, and I am calling our meeting to order at 4:48 p.m. We have all 5 trustees present in person at the Ross Valley School District office here at 100 Shaw Drive in San Anselmo. Myself, Rachel Litwack, Chris Landles-Cobb, Daniel Cassidy, Shelley Hamilton, and Ryan O'Neill. We also have cabinet members present, our new superintendent, Tyler Graff, at his first board meeting, Eric Sable, and Chris Carson. So with that, I will get our meeting started. Our meeting is being live streamed via YouTube, and the link's live on our website. And there's a 60-second delay between the meeting and the YouTube. So with that, I will move on to our agenda. The first item is the Pledge of Allegiance and Democratic Reflection. So if you'd like to stand and join me in the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, and now we'd like to adopt the agenda and time allocations. If anybody had any adjustments or time changes, otherwise I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adopt.
All right.
Second.
Motion and a second. Shelley?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Ryan?
Aye.
Daniel?
Aye.
Rachel? Aye. All right, we have an agenda. So communication was the next item. We have no public here to comment regarding items, and we did not receive any correspondence or communication. So our next item is D, presentation and or action items. The first one is recommended approval of a 1-year extension of the LunchMaster agreement for the 2024-25 school year. I believe this was Chris Carson.
Yes, that is me. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on this evening. This is just a 1-year extension, and at the end of next year, we do have the ability to extend it again, should we choose to, or to bid it out. Last year, when we bid it out, there was only one bid that was received. There are very few vendors, if any, other than our current vendor, which is the LunchMaster, that provides this service. One of the things that I did reach out to the vendor this maybe 2 weeks ago on is about our participation rate and also just the quality of the food. And so I'm going to be working with them to get additional information out to parents and also potentially to have a meeting where we invite parents in so that they can also taste the food. And we're also going to look at what steps we can do to get better quality between the food being shipped to us and received to us. And so we're going to look at those steps as well, working with the vendor.
So thank you, Chris. And I really appreciate you reaching out and talking about the nutrition elements. I see these options every day as they come across my screen. And I think just a simple shift to whole grain options, pastas, the bagels. There's a lot of white flour that's introduced into the children's diets that I think can easily be shifted. If there's an option for that, as you talk about the nutritional aspect of it.
Certainly.
I think that even goes with, everybody loves to have the option of the pizza. But I know a lot of parents would probably feel better if there was even a whole wheat crust, with a vegetable on it or something. And then the kids pull it off. So that's just my hope. If we're going to keep that menu the way it is, let's shift it to whole wheat.
That's certainly something that I can speak to them about.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
When we were in Sacramento in February, we spoke with the 2 individuals who were in charge of the entire program. And the ideas were great. I think I brought this up then. No food waste, nothing in plastic. And we all from Marin were like, that's not happening here. So they were surprised to hear that. So maybe there's a way that we can follow up with them as well. And I'll go back and figure out who those individuals are. that they can then reach out to our provider. So here's what we're doing at the state level.
I think the reason for that is many districts are able to provide the meals themselves, so they would cook them and then feed the children. And the problem with the Ross Valley School District is our campuses were not set up with kitchens to be able to provide the levels of meals, because the way the program forever was set up, we didn't have the participation that would justify being able to cook the meals, to be able to provide the staff to get the food, and et cetera. And even with our existing setup, we're still at a participation rate that's only like 20%. It's for the month of May, 19.58%.
Mm-hmm.
And so even with us offering free breakfast and lunch, we're not getting...
That's so low percentage.
It's a very low percentage. We're not getting children that are interested in the meals. And so that's part of what we're looking at. How can we increase that participation?
Does that percentage include those kids that raid the lunch after?
Right, yeah.
They eat their own lunches?
No.
Because, I mean, I think that what's left afterwards might be the true indicator. Because a lot of those kids do bring their lunches. I know mine do. And then they go and eat second lunches at the table.
Yeah, this is the number of meals that we're being charged by the vendor.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
first is what I know our enrollment is, and then you look at the total number of days in the month,
Mm-hmm.
and you get a total number of meals that would be potential, and
Right.
that's how you calculate your participation.
Okay.
So in our particular situation, we do have one school that is a little bit higher than everybody else, and that is Hidden Valley. They have the highest percentage. They're up over approaching 32%, and then our lowest, which isn't surprising, is White Hill.
Mhm.
White Hill is down around 10%.
Wow.
So that's not surprising, just based upon the age of the children. But
Have you been having conversations with your peers in other districts around group purchasing or leveraging a district that does have meal program capacity to serve more than just their district or that kind of stuff?
we have reached out in the past, but there aren't districts that have the capacity to be able to serve the meals across all districts. You do have two districts in particular in the county that are a little bit larger and have more commercial type setups and do feed their children with meals prepared in-house, but they just don't have the ability to go outside. And so really, in terms of the county, most of the districts are looking at the same type of setup that we have. And they struggle with the same things that we do. And when you have parents that look at the quality of the meals, that look at what it is that the children have access to in terms of the meals themselves, oftentimes they're sending meals for the children because they want the child to have the food that they're accustomed to and that they feel is a better fit for their own kids. And so that's the other challenge that we have, which is part of why we're looking at having some type of a meeting where we potentially bring parents in to taste the food so that they can see what it is that the kids are actually getting. That was actually something that I did all this year. Not all year, but there was about a month period that at the end of the day, instead of throwing away some of the food that was ordered and wasn't picked up, one of my staff members was bringing it back to me just so I could taste them, because I wanted to taste all of the various meals. And surprisingly, they're better tasting than they look. I will say that. And I'm gonna say I'm just as guilty as the children. When I would look at it, I'd be like, yeah, that looks terrible. But then I would eat it and I'm like, that's actually not that bad. So
That's the difference, though.
yeah,
A kid won't get to that point of trying it if it doesn't. look
exactly. And that's also part of why working with the vendor to get better quality even during the shipping process. Is there something that we can do during that time and also when it's the short time that it's here waiting to be picked up by the children?
What's the likelihood that those options might increase the food even further? Because I see there's a 10-cent increase for breakfast, right?
Yeah,
So
there
we
is a
start
it could increase the meals. And there is, the one problem with this is it's not necessarily paying for itself.
Right.
So there might be an increase in cost, but in the end, if we can get children, what I do know, despite what people think, is that these are healthy meals. These are meals that meet the requirements of the National School Lunch Program, which are low fats, low sodiums. I do know that they're supposed to have a lot of whole grains, so that's interesting about the white, unprocessed.
Well, the bagels are white bread, so the
That's true.
burgers are on
It's
white
cheaper.
bread.
It is cheaper,
The pasta's on white
It's cheaper.
pasta.
and so that's going to be part of it. So that's something that we'll certainly look at, but I do know that they are healthy as a parent as well myself. It's something that I would personally have my children eat, given the opportunity.
Any more questions? All right, we have no public for public comments. Do we have any further discussion from the board on this? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll recommend approval of the 1-year extension to the LunchMaster agreement for the 2024-2025 school year.
A motion, do I have a second?
Second.
All right, motion and a second. Daniel?
Aye.
Ryan?
Aye.
Shelley? Aye. Chris?
Aye.
Rachel? Aye. All right, so that was passed. Thank you, Chris. And our next item is consent actions. Unless somebody has anything they needed to pull off or have questions about, I'll entertain a motion to approve.
Can I ask a question
Yeah, go
about the number of student teachers? What, anybody know, do we know the number of number 6,
Mhm.
for the student teacher agreement,
Gotcha.
teacher intern? How many do we have typically every year? And secondly, who's the actual supervisor, the in-class teacher, in-room, or the principal?
I don't know the number that we've typically had. I don't know, Chris, do you know off the top of your head?
Oh, I'm sorry.
We can
Like 5, 50, 1?
it's probably
One or
5 or less.
I was going to say, I think I remember hearing that it's a handful.
Yeah.
It's not a third of our teaching program,
Yeah. And the person that oversees is typically the university, and the university will partner with the classroom teacher to do a kind of a co-observation, and the participating teacher will give recommendations back to the university based on what they're seeing day to day. So it's the university, but they are in good collaboration with our teachers.
Yeah, I can remember when I did this years ago, my classroom teacher was exceptional to help me, and I would still report back to my faculty member every other week or something like that. So that's where I got the grade for class or the credit, but it's also, I relied a lot on that teacher. So that's what I just wanted to see about that relationship here.
Yep. Cool. And if you'd like, I can get the numbers that we had for last year and this coming year.
Just interesting, but not critical.
Okay.
All right. We have no public here for public comment, so I will entertain a motion unless there's other questions.
So moved.
All right, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All right, Ryan?
Aye.
Chris?
Aye.
Daniel?
Aye.
Shelley? Aye. Rachel? Aye. All right, consent is approved. On to board business, committee updates and reports from and announcements by trustees. Anybody have anything to report? Summertime is pretty quiet, huh? Like, I got to meet with Tyler and his superintendent mentor, which was great. Other than that, I have nothing to report. All right, so moving on, approval of regular meeting minutes for June 26, 2024.
Was this the meeting where, that was Marcy's last meeting, right? And she received the award.
Yes.
Is that on this at all?
It was a public comment.
It was a public comment.
It was in public comment. but I
Yeah, it wasn't a word from us. It was under communication C1.
C1.
Yeah,
And
But
it
it
says,
just-
public comment from one community
so you
member.
didn't, okay.
Yeah,
That's,
so it's in there.
okay, all right.
We don't normally specify the names of the
Just-
public commenters.
Wasn't sure, given the magnitude of what happened in that moment, so I just wasn't sure.
Do we, if a procedural question, if a public comment includes a document, how does that get attached to the minutes?
We don't have a copy of the document that was given to Marcy,
All right.
so I don't know how we would have put it in there.
Okay.
But I don't think we've ever had a document given to us that wasn't part of the presentation or part of another agenda item.
I remember somebody coming up and passing something out once to all of us.
Well, that was the bike.
The bike
e-bike.
thing, but then it was all collected because I didn't keep it.
Got it.
Okay.
I think it maybe would go under like communications to the board or something, maybe.
Either under communications or attached or something.
If you'd like, I can follow up with Marcy to see if she has a copy of it and have it attached.
You know, it was a recognition, but I just was, and Shelley kind of hit upon what I was wondering about, but I thought about the contents of it, and I think it's immaterial. But I think we should be aware that if we do have public comment where there's something like that, we might want to have Teresa make a copy of it. Just going forward.
Any other questions or comments? Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion on this item.
I'll make a motion to approve the regular meeting minutes for June 26, 2024.
Great.
Second.
And a second. All right, Chris?
Aye.
Shelley?
Aye.
Ryan?
Abstain.
And Daniel?
Aye.
And Rachel? Aye. All right, so those are approved. And Superintendent and Cabinet Report is our next item.
Great. I'll make it pretty quick. I think from my perspective, I am 8 days on the job officially in the office, and I'm having a wonderful time. So far, it's been great. The district office staff has been really welcoming and wonderful to work with, including the two gentlemen here tonight and Teresa online as well. And I've been meeting with lots of community members. So I met yesterday with two parents, a PTO board member and a parent who has some special ed concerns that I met with earlier last year as well. Meeting with a couple of principals, the Yes Foundation tomorrow with the police chief, just kind of meeting with everyone that will give me the time and asking them kind of a barrage of questions that I asked you all as well. Strength of the district, the challenges, expectations of me, and I've been getting a lot of really good feedback. I think that the one thing that I want to note that is a clear pattern that's emerging from all these conversations is that the strength of this district is the people. It's the students, the teachers, the family. You all as a board get a lot of recognition as a very strong board. Our admin team, there's really, really good people, and community is something that these two towns really put as a premium. So lots of really positive things are being said about the district, and it's exactly why I applied for this position, and I'm so excited to be here. So that's really been the majority of what I've been doing. I know, Chris or Eric, do you have anything you want to add?
I just want to say that we're working hard during this time within the maintenance and custodial staff. They're really doing all their deep cleaning. This is the time of the year that we get everything done in preparation for the start of the school year. And so I do want to recognize all of their hard work as well as all of the hard work with my staff that's going on as we start to close our books and close out the year.
Yeah, on that same vein, we had school officially ended that Thursday, the 13th, and then of course we had the extra day for a couple campuses, the 14th, and then Monday, the 17th, was the start of the extended school year program. That's a run through special education held at Brookside, and tremendously successful. Really wonderful to be serving students, kindergarten through 8th grade. I'm not sure we had any 8th graders this year, but they would have been welcome to come had they been available to. And the bulk of the staff for ESY is hired from in-house. So our staff, certificated, classified, made up the bulk of who was delivering the program. We did bring in a couple of trusted and well-known providers from outside on contract. And that included working on some evaluations along with the normal day-to-day. So I want to just commend all of them for that amazing work. And a special shout out to Miss Sarah Hahn, who also took on some kind of administrative oversight capacities as well as her teaching role. So I'm wishing all of them a wonderful month off the grid, hidden out poolside, beachside, on the couch, wherever it is. And other than that, student services is just like every other department here, looking to finish up hiring, doing some cleanup from last year, and looking forward to a really awesome 24-25.
Great. Thank you.
Tyler, I have a question just for
Yeah.
you in terms of, thank you for having such a ubiquitous presence at the schools so quickly. And my question for you is, you're taking a lot of this information and feedback, and I'm just curious on what your plans are to do with it. Is it strategic? Is it just curious?
Yeah. So in the Friday update that I'll send you all this Friday afternoon, I'm going to give you a document that is essentially my learning tour. I think maybe in one of the first board meetings of the year, I can give a presentation on the learning tour and all the different places I'm planning on going to, people I'm going to talk to. And I've been taking notes and numbering them based on the questions, and I'm going to put them all into a spreadsheet and then basically find the findings and patterns that emerge from these conversations. And really that should take me up through October, November, maybe early December. And then I'd like to present my findings to the board, just to tell you, what I found through my conversations, and kind of use that as a way to take the next steps for the district. The district's in a really, really healthy place right now. I know you all know that. There's a couple issues that we are really focused on, ones that you had lots of conversations with last year, and those will emerge in the findings that I share with you probably in December.
Great, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you very
absolutely.
much.
Okay. Another quick follow-up.
Yeah.
I don't know which department it is. It's somewhat combined, operational, and what your findings are is just about enrollment over the summer and how families are getting connected, new families are getting connected to do enrollment, and then just our conversations around having findings to help continue people's engagement with our district and want to come here and choose to come here. And what is the process for families moving in over the summer? Who are they calling? How are they figuring out what to do to get their kids enrolled? Is that a long question?
That might be more
Well,
clear.
I just had a 35-minute call with a family just this afternoon with a rising TK student. So we were just kind of talking through some stuff, and it was less about enrollment and just more, how we're going to provide support for this child. And a prospective home buyer I talked to earlier this week or late last week, kind of same deal. At what point are they official? Can they register, et cetera? And and sometimes there can be a nexus with children that may have special education services from their current district, for example. So that's one avenue that is pretty typical for June, July, August to kind of field those calls and try to point them in the right direction.
And enrollment's open online right now. Teresa's responding to some of those folks that are enrolling. And when Teresa gets back, I'll have her pull the numbers so I can take a look at who enrolled, what our numbers are looking like, and if we need to change anything in terms of, classrooms, combo classes, all of that stuff should be coming back here in the next couple of weeks.
What kind of outreach are we doing right now, specifically to grab the attention of people that are moving into town and don't know who to call?
So can I make a suggestion that this go on the future board topics for the next board meeting, because we don't have this agendized right now? I don't want to get into discussion. I do believe we need to talk about it, and I think it's important, but it will give everybody time to get those numbers for us.
Great.
Okay. Is that okay, Ryan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, time's of the essence, right?
Yeah, precisely. And it's not agendized, so I want to make sure we're not stepping on anything. Okay, so any comments for the meeting debrief? If not, I will adjourn our meeting.
Conversation.
What's that?
Just agendize your own.
Yeah, we will agendize that one topic. Got it? We're good?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I will then adjourn our meeting at 5:12.